Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and this time we are repairing a fridge or any refrigerator that you make a shell or that has an evaporator. Now it does go inside at the top so that more than it makes ice it does not fail. Well, what is the most common failure? That they bite them when there is enough ice instead of thawing it, which is the right thing to do, because they start to sting with the knife and well, look, they get to damage an oatmeal from the evaporator and then the gas escapes in this case. It is advisable to change oil, and all the evaporation can be changed or repaired when the holes are very small. It is recommended to use Laco since that weld sticks well, but in this case it is very large. The Laco weld the green ESA is not suitable for. That has to be done with aluminum welding. Well, what we have to do always, remember, if you are going to weld a hole in an evaporator, you always have to remove the appendage, or if not, or if you don't want to do that, then just put a check valve or puncture, and when it is removed we can already work on the evaporator part. The only thing we have to do is weld. I say sorry, is this sanding quite well, either with plumber type sandpaper or some coarse sandpaper, and clean it perfectly with isopropyl alcohol or thinner, something that does not leave humidity for what then, so that it grips super well. The weld this we only heat it and it welds quite easily, it melts very perfectly, and look at the hole because it is completely covered. Now what we have to do is give it a pass with paint. They sell one in the comics that it's called refrigerator white. It's the exact shade of the evaporator, so you can do it with that. Since we're doing that, you can change the oil or do whatever you think is convenient. In this case I'm just going to put the appendage on it and remember to remove it. Always the appendix valve so as not to melt the rubbers, and also change the dehydrator filter. That is always advisable to do, as I tell you, if you don't want to do it, and do all this just with a check valve. You put it in any in the low or low tube. High, and from there you can do vacuum or load or put whatever you want to put, flux, whatever. In this case it is already, we have everything soldered. We already changed the filter because to the appendix, and everything is always recommended when they suffered this type of failures. Pour flux. What the flux does is it lowers the freezing point of the water, lowers it to -20 or -40 degrees, I don't remember, but there you can check it on the page, and there it tells you that all the specifications, how much you have to add and everything, and it's quite cheap, about 50-70 pesos. You save that the capillary is being covered. Then since all this is, and it is already painted, here, as we can see, it does not have any leak. You have to check that it does not leak, then it will start to leak. Listen, if it has any leaks, in this case it was fine. This weld works quite well, and what we have to do now is just check the back, but the filter is already changed. The appendix is already changed. Here they're only painted a little so that the same corrosion of the weld or moisture does not break it, and we do not have micro leaks in the future. Then in this case it is only to put all its attachments to do its calibration of gas charge in this case, usually because it is put 4-5 in itself. The ideal is 0 PSI is the ideal, but when they are worn engines and everything they take a little more. Now we move to the front, as we can see, because this is already frying. I put the hand, it already feels quite cold, these refrigerators, then they begin to notice the cold, and for you to see here we are already at 7.7 degrees, so this one was already repaired. Because if you like my content, then like, comment, share, subscribe, and if you have any recommendations of any video or some improvement that my channel can make, well, there is also the comment box, and see you until the next. Ciao.